Donald Trump is losing all control this Wednesday morning, ranting and raving like a lunatic on his social media platform as we are learning about U.S. embassies in the Middle East permanently shutting down. We've already reported how multiple U.S. bases in the Middle East have been evacuated. Also, we are learning from military families who are going to Military Times and to other military-related outlets that there have been numerous incidents of sailors aboard those super carriers that Donald Trump says is part of their amazing blockade, who are attempting to actually throw themselves overboard and tragically end their lives because of the torment and psychological issues that are being inflicted upon them by the Trump regime. And they don't want to be complicit in war crimes. And also it appears that they feel they're never going to come home again. But Donald Trump this morning is screaming out, "Praise Allah." He says, "Praise Allah. We own the Strait of Hormuz." He is a complete and utter lunatic, a complete and utter psychopath. And I'll show you one of Iran's top generals just gave an interview with PBS where he was calling out Donald Trump, not just for being a complete and utter psychopath and not just saying that Iran has no intentions of ever possibly even doing a deal with Donald Trump because Trump's incapable of doing a deal, but the Iranian leadership also recognizes the market manipulation scheme that's taking place. And even Iran's generals are saying the U.S., you should look into the stock trades of Kushner and Witkoff and Trump and Trump's family members because this entire war, it's all about enriching Donald Trump personally. And this morning, we learned that the Treasury Department is now officially removing any requirements that beneficial ownership in LLCs and corporate structures be disclosed. A massive win for Russian oligarchs and money launderers. And also the Treasury Department will be deleting its database of beneficial ownership in order to allow and promote money laundering, to promote it. We'll connect all of these in just a moment. So here was Donald Trump's post earlier this morning. Here's what he writes. "The U.S. has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. Our naval blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel, and there is nothing Iran can do about it. They have no navy, they have no air force, their remaining soldiers are unpaid, the IRGC is decimated and fleeing, and their leadership is uncertain at best. They have no money. Their country is, quote, shot. All they have is fake news and 300% inflation and getting worse. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East no longer. Praise be to Allah." Donald J. Trump. It should be noted that as of today, the national average of gas prices is the highest it has ever been in the history of the United States at this time. So while Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, as the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve hits tank bottom, in the real world, not in Trump's delusional, psychotic, lunatic-riddled world that he wants to bend reality and destroy the entire United States. And what Americans are paying for gas right now is the highest ever in the history on a national average at this time, in this period of time in August in American history. Now, as I noted at the outset of this video, the U.S. is preparing prolonged diplomatic drawdowns across the Middle East as the Iran war continues. The U.S. has retreated from its military bases in the Middle East, and basically the only place we really have a lot of our equipment right now is in Israel, where they have the Iron Dome, but the Arab Dome has fallen. The U.S. has run out of weapons, Patriot interceptors, ATACMS, and the Arab nations have formed their own alliance, the Mecca Pact, which I can't stress enough what a big deal the Mecca Pact is, moving away from the U.S. security umbrella, a regional alliance, the Mecca Pact, and then China moving in as well. Also, Iran forging additional diplomatic ties with the BRICS bloc as the US dollar becomes weaker and weaker and will be generationally as a result of Donald Trump's conduct. You have the BRICS bloc rising, right? Brazil and Russia and you've got South Africa, and you've got China, and you've got India, and you've got all of these nations that stands kind of as a rival to NATO and a rival to the G7, if you will. But Iran having additional monetary ties. Iran will join the BRICS New Development Bank, securing memberships in the BRICS established New Development Bank as Tehran seeks alternative financial mechanisms outside of the U.S. dollar system, while the U.S. embassies are now either operating with fewer staffs or just shutting down their embassies altogether in the region. Turkey's President Erdogan just said the following on the Mecca Agreement, which right now is Turkey, it's Saudi Arabia, it's Pakistan. Qatar praised this alliance. Even Iran suggested that this alliance was a good thing where Arab nations take control of their own destiny. We'll see if Egypt joins. Saudi Arabia seems on the fence about allowing Egypt to join, given the rivalry with the UAE, but we're focused on and we'll be following that as well. Turkish President Erdogan says, our vision is to eventually bring all the countries in the region together under this framework, if possible. This agreement is not directed against any country. Its sole purpose is to promote peace and stability in the region and the well-being of our peoples. And again, as noted at the outset, I'm going to do an entire video on this. Multiple USS Abraham Lincoln sailors have tried to go overboard amid extended deployments. Their families are saying that the situation is horrific right now on these supercarriers. America has run out of weapons and munitions. Our stockpile of crude is at an all-time low. We've hit tank bottom, and we've hit tank bottom on morale as our supercarriers have these extended stays. We're not feeding our sailors enough food. The showers don't work. The toilets don't work. Welcome to the Trump hellscape, where he has bankrupted every damn thing he's touched his entire life. But if you just listen to him, praise Allah, we control the Strait of Hormuz, we own it. He says the ceasefire in Lebanon is working. But no, it's actually not. It's actually a complete killing field where Netanyahu continues to slaughter people in Lebanon. Southern Lebanese residents say Israel's continued occupation and movement restrictions have turned the area into a prison, despite the fake ceasefire. The same way there's a fake ceasefire in Gaza. And you have Netanyahu and you have Israel Katz, the defense minister, saying, we will never leave these territories. They belong to us, and we will continue to demolish cities and demolish settlements in these areas. I mean, real horrific stuff.
I am so excited to tell you about our sponsor, Avocado Green Mattress. Their certified organic mattresses sleep cool, relieve pressure, and support your body so you can enjoy deep, restorative sleep. They don't use polyurethane foams. Instead, every mattress uses healthy, natural materials. They're even handmade. What really got me was being able to go in and feel it for myself. You could actually walk into an Avocado showroom or find their mattresses at a retailer near you, and once you lie down on one, you just know. I really appreciate the thought Avocado puts into what you're sleeping on every night. Their best-selling green mattress uses certified organic materials like cotton, wool, and latex with the kind of comfort and support you could actually feel. And I love that you could try it in person before making that investment. Avocado products are made, not manufactured, and thoughtfully crafted with real materials to deliver lasting comfort and support. You can experience them in person at an Avocado showroom or a premier retailer near you, or shop online at avocadogreenmattress.com/Meidas to check out their mattress and furniture sale. That's avocadogreenmattress.com/Meidas. avocadogreenmattress.com/Meidas. MEIDAS.
We're learning more also about the people who Donald Trump tucked away with him on that catering truck as he abandoned the old Air Force One and went on to the military plane because he was purportedly scared that Iran was going to strike down the Air Force One, but he let the press stay on it. I also think, and I'm going to do a video on this as well, and Hal Sparks mentioned this as well, I think that there's also potentially some medical issues that were going on, and that this story, while embarrassing for Trump, may also be covering up health issues, and perhaps there were medical professionals on the other plane, and that this entire kind of elaborate ruse within a ruse was also dealing with Donald Trump's health issues. And also, you know, he looked a little different when he came back from Turkey too. I mean, the different hair, other stuff. Well, I'll do a whole video on that, but let's just flag that right now for everybody. Now, Iran's General Mohammad Reza Nakhti said the following on the Trump regime. He goes, they don't work for even the benefit of the American people. He goes, all these Trump regime, Donald, Kushner, Witkoff, all they're trying to do is manipulate the market. We've learned that all this is a stock manipulation scheme. He goes, I bet you if you look into their portfolios, you will see, and Iran claims they've looked into their portfolios, you can see the manipulation happen. Here, play this clip on an interview he just gave with PBS. Let's play it.
Not only do these people not work for the benefit of humanity, they don't even work for America. They work for their own interests. As soon as the stock market closes, they start hostilities. When the stock market opens, they send positive messages to raise stock prices. All the while, they are buying and selling the stocks themselves.
Iran's General Mohammad Reza Nakhti also says, we've gained so much damn experience from this war, and we've learned that the United States under Trump is far weaker than what we perceive. We're surprised by actually how weak they turned out to be. Here, play this clip.
No, we have not yet reached our final objective. This is clear. Up until now, we are victorious. In the future, we will continue to be victorious. The longer this war lasts, the more experience we gain. We had never seen a real war to gain real experience, to learn how to fight with America. In these 5 months, we have learned how. We have also seen how the American military is weaker than what we perceived.
More from Iranian General Mohammad Reza Nakhti. He says, here's the thing, even if Iran runs out of ballistics, which were not even close, he goes, for every time you see a ballistic missile that's shot, we produce many more that day. For every Shahed drone that gets launched, we produce more that day. But where the real danger is for the United States, if we run out of our weapons, we know where all of your economic interests are in the region. So if that were to ever happen, that's when you should be most afraid. But he's like, we know that you ran out of your weapons. We have an abundance of weapons, and the Shahed drones cost $100, $150, $150,000, $200,000. Some of those Iranian ballistic missiles cost hundreds of thousands, whereas the interceptors cost $4 million, $5 million. The THAAD interceptors are $11 million each, and they have to fire 2 for every one Iranian drone or one Iranian ballistic. And so that's why the U.S. ran out of its interceptors. Heck, during one evening in Jordan, the U.S. launched at least 50 to 60 interceptors, literally $200 to $300 million, probably more. Gone like that, and 3 U.S. service members were killed, and the Iranian ballistics have now developed mid-air direction alteration so it could avoid our interceptors as well. I mean, you give Donald Trump, you give someone who's supposed to be the commander-in-chief charge of what's supposed to be the strongest military of humankind, and this is what this pathetic fool does, where he has to crouch in a damn catering truck. Here, play this clip.
Rest assured, even if this war lasts for years, until the last day, Iran's rockets will be launched. I will make this point, and this is more important than missiles. If there comes a day when Iran has no more missiles left, that's when we will be even more dangerous for America.
How would you be more dangerous?
Because America has thousands of economic interests throughout the world, and all of them can be easily destroyed.
More from Iranian General Nakhti over here, talking about the importance of attaining deterrence. Let's play this clip.
Look, we have to attain deterrence so that the enemy never dares to attack us, so we can live with security. One way is to prolong this war until we get to the next term of the presidency and cause attrition, so that if anyone else wants to attack Iran, they will know there is a cost.
And then back on the homeland here, as we know about all of those DOGE cuts to the health industries, the agricultural, the health departments, the agricultural departments, all of these things. It seems like every day there's a story like this. More than 3,200 pounds of pastrami and corned beef are recalled over possible listeria contamination. City Foods issued the recall after routine inspection found possible listeria contamination. How many times Are you going to have stories like this? And by the way, this stuff's just the tip of the iceberg, where all of the checks that we had to try to stop these things have been destroyed by Doge and Elon Musk and Russ Vought and the whole gang of criminals right there. Speaking of the gang of criminals, speaking of market manipulation, this was announced this morning from the Treasury Department. Today, the Treasury Department issued a final rule that permanently removes the requirement for U.S. companies and U.S. persons to report beneficial ownership information. Today, the Treasury Department also announced that it will delete previously reported information by U.S. persons from the beneficial ownership information database. Why would you delete the information? One, why would you make a rule like this to allow money laundering? And then why would you delete the information of prior beneficial ownership? As Tom Malinowski, a former member of Congress who helped shepherd this law that was bipartisan, that Republicans equally supported as Democrats, is what he says. I helped pass this law in 2020. Its purpose is to prevent drug traffickers, Russian and Chinese kleptocrats, and other international criminals from setting up anonymously owned companies to hide their money in the U.S. Trump's Treasury Department is doing this to help criminals. Beneficial ownership is just a record of who actually owns a company. That's all that was being reported here, so that we didn't have LLCs in Delaware laundering millions of dollars through the U.S. into offshore banks on behalf of totally anonymous people. The Treasury deleting the beneficial ownership info it already gathered is utterly crazy. This database was not public. It was just for law enforcement to use in investigating crimes. It's like Trump ordering the deletion of the FBI's fingerprinting database. But who knows? They probably have done that already too. What do you think happens when you have criminals running the government? These are damn criminals. That's who they are. Call them out. This isn't normal political times. We have criminals. We have crooks. We have war criminals. We have sexual predators in charge of this government, and they are behaving exactly what you would expect them to behave like. They're awful things. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.